San Francisco's offense might be Kyle Shanahan's most explosive offense yet. And while there's many key difference makers like Deebo Samuel on the offensive side of the ball, perhaps there's none bigger than Brock Purdy, who really cemented his MVP status this last Sunday against the Arizona Cardinals with a 4-touchdown performance, while his counterpart, Dak Prescott, really crumbled. So in this video, I want to dive a little bit deeper into Brock Purdy's game in his home state of Arizona against the Cardinals. Starting out early in this game, Brock Purdy made his skill set immediately known. And while I've talked about this before, I believe this really sets Brock Purdy apart from other young quarterbacks, and that's his timing and anticipation. When you watch this throw, Purdy is throwing as soon as Brandon Aiyuk is coming out of this route, which makes it nearly impossible for this DB to break on this ball. And while he doesn't have the strongest arm, this anticipation and timing he does throw with makes it so it's extremely hard for these DBs actually to get their hands on the ball. While Purdy is an MVP candidate right now, going into the season, he was just trying to make his name known as the franchise quarterback for San Francisco. And the big thing he had to do is throw deep. And this year, he leads the entire league in yards per attempt, and he's delivering some absolute dimes, like on this play where Arizona is running a modified cover 2 with the man following Deebo Samuel. But nonetheless, Brock Purdy is able to quickly identify this coverage and find the open man in Deebo Samuel with a perfectly placed ball. While many people say Brock Purdy is just a check down quarterback, I don't think the tape really shows that, because Purdy passes up on a check down to go deep. He really shows his mentality. But maybe the more amazing part, at such a young age, Purdy is a quarterback who makes limited mistakes while having this aggressive style. And Brock Purdy is doing this all behind an offensive line that ranks in the back half of the league. On this play, you'll watch Jake Brendel just get pancaked. This forces Brock Purdy to have to step up in the pocket. The next thing you'll want to notice is Kyle Juszczyk fell down, so Brock Purdy needs to buy more time than usual. And while he's able to connect with this pass, Purdy on the next few plays would have to go in the medical tent because of this hit though. And we would see our first glimpse of Sam Darnold, or at least our first glimpse of Sam Darnold in this Cardinals game. And boy, was it not pretty. He nearly threw a couple of interceptions, and the only reason his drive was kept alive was because of a penalty. So while many people are quick to point out Kyle Shanahan's scheme for Brock Purdy's success, the fact is, Brock Purdy perfectly accentuates Kyle Shanahan's scheme. And the marriage couldn't be better, because Brock Purdy can take the tough coaching many quarterbacks just can't. A few plays later, we would see a similarity Brock Purdy shares with the great Joe Montana, and that's what I would call his coolness or poise with inside the pocket. And this is something I think he's actually improved on this year. Rather than spinning out of the pocket, you'll see Brock Purdy step up time and time again. On this play, he has a defender right in his face, but nonetheless delivers a perfectly placed pass to George Kittle. And when you watch this play again, you can tell Purdy needed to buy this extra time because all of his wide receivers before this were covered up. Starting out the third quarter, Purdy would have a wide open George Kittle. The only issue, he faced almost instant pressure. But what sets Purdy apart from many young quarterbacks is his ability to dissect what the defense is doing before the play even starts. Here, you can clearly see Arizona is at least showing a blitz. And what Purdy needs to do here is determine where to go with this ball. And he's already decided if they do send this man, which they do, he's going to throw into the blitz to George Kittle, which is the perfect play and results in maximum yardage out of this play. And I think plays like this shows why Brock Purdy deserves to be an MVP, because these are routine for him. Something San Francisco loves the most about Purdy though is his ability to operate not just within the pocket, but also to be able to operate when the pocket breaks down. Like here, Purdy's athleticism allows him to get outside the pocket, he gets his eyes down the field, and then connects deep with Christian McCaffrey on the scramble drill. However, as I mentioned earlier, there might not be a better combination of a quarterback and a scheme across the entire NFL. Here, watch how this timing and Brock Purdy's anticipation lines up perfectly on this play. As soon as Brock Purdy's hitting his back foot, he's already ready to release this ball, and watch where Brandon Ayuk is. He still isn't out of his break yet, but nonetheless, Purdy delivers a perfectly placed pass, and you can clearly see how that contributes to Brandon Ayuk's yards after the catch. So with Brock Purdy delivering dimes like this every single week, I think we need to come to the fact that Brock Purdy isn't just a great quarterback, he's an MVP level quarterback. And when you're looking at the other quarterback in the race, Brock Purdy is by and far a better quarterback. And don't take my word for it. When you're looking at the stats, Brock Purdy on the year has a quarterback rating of 119, while Dak Prescott has a quarterback rating of just 104. He has 7 interceptions, but so does Brock Purdy. And Brock Purdy has 1 more touchdown, as well as having more yards and a higher completion percentage on the year. When you also throw in the fact San Francisco and Dallas have played each other this year, where San Francisco's offense, led by Brock Purdy, put up 42 points, and Dallas's offense, led by Dak Prescott, only put up 10, I think it makes clear sense why Brock Purdy deserves the MVP right now. But these ultimately are just my thoughts on Brock Purdy's recent performance against the Cardinals, and I'd like to hear your thoughts down below. It would also mean a ton to me if you liked and subscribed, and as always, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.